And let's study this particular banker block here. But before we do that, let's follow structure. Price is obviously going up, pullbacks, little pullbacks, pullbacks. This is a very clear structure break, right? Nice strong body close above. So we've identified it's completely changed structure. So now we're looking at this particular area as the new low, and this is obviously the new high. And from what we can see that price did in fact close below. A couple of candlesticks is fine. 2, 3 candlesticks below structure is fine. And what was the move that took a structure? We can see that there's this particular leg down caused by the previous leg up. You look to the right, and that's the reason price reversed from this particular area. But then where is our potential TP? We can clearly see that there's a banker block here. But before we do that, notice how it broke structure here to the left. So price is likely to retest from this particular area. And we can see there was a small rejection. Eventually, it just continued to go short. But that's a good area to be taking profit from the market. So let's actually do another example. Let's go to a random place, actually. I'm just going to go randomly anywhere. Since the live market is just not ready yet. Let's just completely just freestyle this, everyone. Okay, let's say we'll go on the 1 hour, and let's just say we go here, wherever. We're just going to go anywhere. Remember, this is just a random freestyle backtest, but when you're trading the live markets, you don't know what's going to happen, obviously. It's all hindsight, but we can have an edge and an advantage if we follow structure prior to that. So let's actually follow structure prior to that. So what can we see? The most recent structure to me started from here because it made a new high. So now really we are actually bullish, but we're reversal traders. I would rather take a reversal trade than a continuation trade. I'll cover that in a different video. But before we do anything, we do our zones and we just move with the market. So let's move with the market. This is a very clear, confident structure break. It broke structure to the downside caused by this previous leg up before the structure break. So this is a good area to be entering and executing the trade. So let's see what happens. But remember, before we do anything, we identify that this is the most relevant and previous lows and highs, but now we've made a new low, right? So the new low is here and the new more relevant high is now here. So let's actually go with the market. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we've made a completely new low and a completely new high. So now this particular move has now broken structure. This was the previous leg up. And as you can see, this is now the new high. This is now the new low. And the previous leg up before the structure break is this banker block. So let's just go with the market. It's as simple as this. Right now, these are continuation banker blocks. Okay, now we've got a new structure low, as you can see. So the new low is down here. The new high would be here. The reason it's here and not here is because here is where the most recent banker block is, right there. That was the move that took out structure here to the left. So as you can see, price rejected from this area. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's slowly dropping, but again, it's still in bearish territory. And why is that? It's because we can see that price hasn't really broken convincingly in the previous most significant high. It's just completed a liquidity hunt. We need something convincing, right? Like a strong body candlestick, or at least 1, 2, 3 average body candlestick closes. So at the moment, we are still stuck within this range. So we're still bearish. So let's see what happens. Still bearish, been triggered in, still bearish. And the reason I keep on saying we're still bearish is, look, if we follow structure, it hasn't really broken it. It's just completed a liquidity grab, right? So we are still stuck within this range. Even down here, it's just a big range, bunch of spikes, nothing convincing yet. So let's see what happens. Oh, look at this. Okay, now there's been a structure breakdown here, right? There's been a structure breakdown there. It was caused by this significant move, which obviously failed, completely failed immediately. But now it's made a new high caused by this previous move. So now there's a new high, and now this is the new low. So now we are actually, in fact, stuck within this bullish trend. So right now we're going to see probably a big range. But let's see what happens next. Before we implement anything, the previous structure, remember it was down here. What caused it? We need to look back. What caused that move? We need to update its banker block to now this significant move. And the reason it's this significant move is because before we follow it back, before the break of structure, this was the previous little leg before it struck structure. So the previous leg down before the break of structure forms the banker block. So let's see what happens. Let's go to the market. Again, liquidity grab, irrelevant at the moment. Stuck within a range. Still stuck within a range. And now we're approaching a potential area of the banker block. Now remember, 50% is the ideal area for the retest. And yes, it can also retest the very top end of the banker block. But normally you'll realize that this is actually a bank level, which is a different part of the strategy, which I'll cover in a different video. But right now, let's focus on the banker block 50% level. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. We got triggered in. Price then dropped, broke the banker block, but hasn't really taken that structure. But if we zoom in, what can we see? A couple of strong bearish candlesticks caused by this previous little leg move here. So now this is the most relevant banker block. See what happens. And it did in fact retest the banker block. Didn't retest the 50, but it did retest the actual zone. But now, again, we move with the market. This is now the new structure. The new banker block will be up here. The new entry would be here. And now we've got a new high and a new low, right? So this is the new low and the new high. So let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a new low and a new high. Let's follow the market. Took out structure at this particular area. It took a structure here. Didn't take out structure because of one candlestick. It needs to be a lot bigger than that, or at least a couple of small ones below the previous structure. So this is just a liquidity grab. What did take out structure, in fact, was this particular move here, again, caused by these bunch of strong candlestick closes. And what was the move that took out that move, that broke structure? It was, in fact, again, you guessed it, this banker block based on this previous leg up. This is the previous leg up before the structure break. This is a structure break. So now we're expecting a retest towards this area, and then we sell the market. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's completely failed. Again, I'm just freestyling this, guys. I'm not picking random trades and showing you a bunch of winners. I'm showing you exactly how the market can potentially move and how you need to adjust to it. So this would have failed. And again, would I be taking this trade? I don't know. I need to analyze it in detail. I need to see if the structure is correct, the momentum, is the beam run valid, is there a pattern there, is there a bank level there, etc. You don't just take a banker block by itself, because as you can see, a lot of them fail. This is why you need to have multiple confluences, just like any other strategy. But right now, I'm just showing you guys how to identify a banker block. So clearly we took out structure. And that move was caused by all of this previous structure here. Because remember, we would have seen this on hindsight. Took out structure, made a new high. That's a pretty strong candlestick. So we're looking at this as the most relevant structure low, and that's the most relevant structure high. Price then dropped, triggered us in, See what happens. Okay, completely broke out structure. Again, this is just a good exercise to understand banker blocks, right? So I don't mind if I show you guys a complete freestyle and I'm losing 10 trades in a row. Again, I would never enter these trades unless the rules and the confluences are there. So practice this exercise is very, very important. Then obviously on the next videos, I'll be showing you the case studies and actual trades I've taken and banker blocks with valid rules and the valid confluences. So again, took out structure. What was the previous leg down that took out structure? It was literally this leg up, took out structure. So this is the most relevant banker block right there. So that's where price is likely to reverse from. This is the most relevant high. This is the most relevant low. Okay, let's see what happens. And again, you know, there's going to be confluences here. There's going to be a bang level here, all these other areas that you need to be wary of. But at the moment, we're just slowly building the puzzle of the boomerang and the boomerang slingshot. But right now, let's just work on identifying what is a banker block. So again, prices are rallying. Okay, would have triggered us in. So dropping. And let's actually follow the market around. So we're still within this range here, right? So we've done the structure break. It's actually identified as that was the structure break. But this is the most relevant high. And this is the most relevant low. And again, if you were to take this particular trade, yes, it would have been a good little banker block, a quick 3-4 But again, would I really be taking it? Probably not, you know, because there's lots of momentum and there's no boomerang, there's no other confluences. Again, we are just identifying the muscle memory to identify what is a banker block. Still stuck within this range. And there we have it. There's a strong convincing pullback. So now the most relevant low is here. The most relevant high is not here, it's not here, it's not here, it's here. The reason it's here is simply because this was the previous move. You see this previous leg up? This was the move that took at the most recent structure. So now we're expecting a pullback towards this banker block to go short. So let's see what happens. This is the pullback. This is the banker block. And again, you're going to have a banker block within a banker block on the smaller time frame. You're going to most likely get one here as well. So we'll cover multi-time frame analysis in another video, but this is more or less the point of interest that we're interested in. But this to me looks more of a decent trade. And the reason this is more decent is because we've got momentum to the downside and then we've got compression. So this is something I'll rather take. And then maybe we might have a boomerang here. We've got a 1, a 2, and a potential boomerang. So these are the kind of trades I'll be taking. All the other ones, I'm just reselling. Even this one, again, I probably won't take it because I'm not analyzing it properly. We need 3, 4, 5 confluences to actually take a trade. Right now, we've only got 2 confluences. The first confluence is the banker block. The second confluence is compression. That's all we've got. We need 4 or 5 confluences to actually take a banker block setup. Or in my case, a boomerang setup. So let's see what happens. There we have it. Okay, it dropped to the downside. And, you know, I did say that there was a 15-minute banker block. And if we did enter this trade, the risk would have been pretty decent, 12R. But again, you need confluences, guys. All the other ones, there's no confluences. This only had 2. Imagine having 4 or 5 confluences when you take a boomerang setup. And I did even say that there's a potential boomerang here, right? And again, where's the boomerang? It's a 1, 2, and a fake out, and then a drop to the downside. So we're catching these moves here. But again, would I be taking this? I don't know. I need to analyze it properly. I'm completely freestyling with you guys. But you know what? Now I've spotted a third confluence. Look at this. Now it's looking more probable. This is looking pretty decent. So we've got the 1, we've got the 2, the 3 is above, we've got the banker block, and we've got compression, and we've even got another setup here. Look, this is what I'm looking for. Now we've got multiple confluences. So we've got this particular large channel, then we've got a pattern within a pattern, and then a smaller pattern here. We zoom into the 5-minute time frame. So these are the trades I'm interested in. Notice how out of all the trades, I'm completely just freestyling. But when I spotted something that's more of a high probability trade, I immediately had to just spot it out, right? Because it had multiple confluences. But again, this might not even be enough when I show you everything in detail. This is just a banker block. There's going to be imbalances, bank levels, patterns within patterns, what's a valid boomerang, multi-time from analysis, etc. So all the rules will be noted out on a separate video.